Muslim leaders have come out strongly against the government's policy of discrimination against the Muslim community and demanded that they be treated justly and fairly. This was said during a press conference organized by leaders drawn from various Muslim organizations after their two-day conference which deliberated on issues affecting Muslims in the country. The leaders call for an end to the policy of treating Muslims as second-class citizens and say that such a policy was only pushing the Muslim community to desperation and frustrations.
Since independence, Muslims have been subjected to a deliberate government policy of marginalization and discrimination, and it is highly regrettable that after the promulgation of the new constitution, which Kenyans fought hard to achieve, the same trend continues to happen.
They cited the difficulty of acquiring national documents like the identification cards as one of the policy which the government is running against the Muslim community.
It is and does task for a Muslim to acquire identity documents such as national identity cards and passports due to the deliberate discriminatory policy that targets members of the Muslim community, irrespective of their areas of origin. Without identification documents, most Muslim youth miss out in the pursuit of life opportunities such as employment, education, loans, locked out of political participation, and even their rights of movement is curtailed.
On the issue of terrorism, the Muslim leaders say they were as concerned as the rest of Kenyans and the world, but are opposed to the method the government is employing in fighting terror, particularly extrajudicial killings.
We strongly abhor the policy of extrajudicial killings and disappearances of Muslim youth, which has been rampant in the last few years. These violations have been corroborated by both international and local human rights agencies, including a state organ, the Kenyan National Commission of Human Rights, which confirmed that security agents were involved in a policy of extrajudicial killings.
Kenya National Commission on Human Rights has said in its report that over 21 Muslim youth have been killed by the police and another 80 people disappeared without a trace and have been assumed dead, although no bodies have been recovered. Another 300 people have either been killed or are missing after being arrested by security agencies, Muslim leaders said.
While in the past, it was only the anti-terrorism policy unit which was involved in these violations, other security agencies such as the Kenya Defense Forces, Administration Police, and the Kenya Wildlife Service are also involved in these violations, which are gradually turning Kenya into the rule of the jungle. We firmly demand an end to these macabre acts, which are contrary to established laws, and we strongly urge the government to firmly adhere to the rule of law if it has reasons to detain a suspect.
While the Muslim leadership was doing whatever possible to ensure that the youth are given direction on correct teaching of Islam, the leaders call on the government to play its part and stop looking at Muslim youth as potential terrorists, but facilitate them with equal opportunities that will give them a sense of patriotism. They also demanded human rights organizations to be given their free space to operate without being associated to terror groups.
The government must immediately unfreeze the accounts of Haki Africa and Muslim for Human Rights Muhuri and provide them the legal space to freely operate their activities. The assertions of linking them to terrorism have been dismissed by the courts and donor agencies, foreign embassies, the United Nations, and the United States President, Barack Obama, who have commended their positive work in the community, especially in the matters of human rights and engagement with the youth.
The leaders appealed directly to the president to end the existing discrimination, saying that the past attempt of engaging different government organs have not been successful.
The head of state must come out clearly and state whether there is a different set of law which is applied to Muslims. Muslims continue to be discriminated against on the basis of their faith And on this matter, the buck stops with none other than the head of state. President Uhuru Kenyatta has an obligation to immediately explain to the nation why Muslims are being discriminated against when applying for national identity cards and passports. We are not demanding for any special favors, but fairness and justice. Thank you.
The Muslim leaders were drawn from different parts of the country and organizations including Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims SUPKEM, Jamia Mosque Committee, National Muslim Leaders Forum, Council of Imams and Preachers of Kenya CIPK, Kenya Council of Imams and Preachers of Kenya KCIU, Majlis Ulama Kenya, Ummah Foundation, Muslim Human Rights Forum, Haki Africa, Darul Irshad Center, Malindi Education and Development Association, Brave Initiative, Muslim Lawyers League, and Mahad Da'wa Organization.